to an overcast, windy, drizzly Kent Club Lake. Why is it every time I go fishing someone turns the tap on? Mind you, rather the weather be like this than like 80 degrees. Better fishing weather, isn't it? Bit of rain, and the pressure's so low at the moment. It's about 1003. So yeah, if you was going to pick a day to come carp fishing, this would probably be it. So I've booked a few days off from work, and I thought I'd come do a couple of nights down the lake. And my quest for a 40 pounder from this lake continues. As you would have seen in my other vlogs, I've not caught a 40 from this lake, and I really want one, because I've been fishing on and off here since 1988, and there's quite a few 40s in here now. I don't struggle to catch them, but I struggle to catch the bigger ones. I'd say up to mid 30 I've had them out of here, so I really want that 14. So don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the channel. That really helps the channel with the analytics, so please subscribe if you can, and hit the bell icon so you never miss any content. So, in the words of Kevin Ellis, I skirted around the lake when I got here with my bucket looking for a swim to fish. Now, being midweek, it's been pretty empty down here, but I needed to see some signs of some fish before I set up. So walking round, I walked into this peg here, which is peg 30, and see a few fish out in the middle showing themselves. So I opted for this one. Now this is a good peg. It's one of the hot pegs of the lake. It's about 2/3 of the way down the lake, and there's some nice hard spots out there, and the fish frequent them quite a lot. Years ago the fishing here used to follow the wind a lot, but they don't seem to do that much these days. So although the wind is pushing down the other end, I'm going to stick it out in here and see what happens. So hook bait wise, I've got something a little bit different for this session. Eclipse Baits have done something called the full powder jackets, and it's a coated hook bait with 7 coatings on there, which disperses into the water over time and leaves a little package of attraction around your hook bait. It's a great little idea, and they're also in like a little pillow shape. This is them here in the tub. As you can see there, you can see the coating on them. A nice pillow shape. To say they're bottom baits, and what I do is I'm going to top one of them off with pineapple pop-up, just to give it a bit of neutral buoyancy. But I think that's a good little idea. Full powder jackets from Eclipse Baits. Oh dear, done my first night. Bloody bream. One of them, I'm not kidding ya, must have been 14 pound. But at 1 o'clock in the morning, it stayed dry thankfully through the night, but bream. And the thing is, when the bream have moved in, you know they're really shoaled up. So all that spot mix I've put out there on my spots has probably all been hoovered up. So I'm going to have to start spotting again today and try and create a feeding area for the carp to move in on, as long as the bloody bream don't get there first. What a pain in the ass. I don't know, it's part of fishing, it's part of this lake. I just wish they didn't like boilies. fished this swim before in the past, I sort of know the spots to fish to, but to give myself a little refresher on my mobile phone there, I keep, oh, that was a fish, one just lumped out. I keep a record on my phone of all the swims I fish on this lake and the wraps that I fish at, so when I turn up at the lake I haven't got to try and remember where I was fishing on what spots and thrash the water to a foam trying to find the spots. So by logging it all on my mobile phone, it gives me a little reminder of where to fish. Obviously if I'm not getting takes then I might have to do a little bit of exploring, but I found 2 spots at 17 wraps towards a pylon, which I got off my phone, and another spot at 12 wraps which I did really well on last year from this peg. A lovely hard spot out there, it goes down with a proper crack and you know that's hard clay. The bottom in here is very clayey. Over the years it has matured a lot, and in the shallow areas of the lake now we actually get weed. It's like a thin onion weed. It's not really an issue, you can just pull straight through it. It doesn't snag the fish up as you're bringing them in. But also another good spot to aim to in this lake, if you want to fish the shallower areas, is to fish just beyond the weed, because that seems to be a little patrol route. So that could be worth a rod a bit later on if I'm not having any success. I'm giving them probably 15 spoms on the 17 wraps, and I'll probably only do 10 on the 12 wraps. Mixture of hemp, boilie, corn, and some of the liquids, some of the Eclipse liquids that I like to use, and the various oils which helps drag the fish down to the bottom, because they leak up off the bottom, sending the signals through to the carp, hopefully to drag them down. One of them is this lovely golden amino. You can see I've used a bit of that in the spod mix. That's lovely, it's really, really sweet, and carp love aminos. Definite edge. Well, into my first 24 hours and the rain is starting to set in now, but I have good news. I've caught one. I'm well pleased. Chuffed to bits with that. 28-pound mirror. Scrapped like its life depended on it. Amazing fish. Luckily I got it in just before the rain started and managed to get some footage before the rain started. Off the 17 wrap spot on the full powder jackets I explained earlier, with the little pineapple pop up on top to balance it out. Out the blue, after catching all that bream, it absolutely tore off. Tried to rip my arms out my sockets. The fish do fight in here, they fight so hard. I was pleased when it went over the net cord. A few dodgy moments. Thought he was in there at one point and it swam out. Schoolboy error. But yeah, I'm off the mark. So here's the footage of that 28-pound mirror. Here you go, 28-pound on the nose. First fish of the session. Session? Taken on an Eclipse Baits Supreme Cream with a pineapple topper. And the weather's moving in, so it could be time for a few more. I've got to put them down because my back's going. There's one thing that scares me, it's a coot's feet. Have you ever seen a coot's feet? Looks like something out of Alien. All grey and shit and like... Imagine waking up in the morning and you've got coot's feet. Oh dear. Oh man. That rain last night was biblical. It absolutely hammered down. And guess what? The bream moved in. I got drenched. It got to the point where I just got totally fed up with catching them. And I just reeled in. Every time I caught a bream, I just leant the rod up against the bivvy. I was just fed up with going out there and getting soaked. So every time I caught one, leant the rod up on the bivvy and then just went to sleep and waited for the rain to pass. But this morning it looks lovely. Now it's proper overcast, there's a warm wind blowing, pressure's around 1,000. I've just spodded out 10 spods on each spot because it looks really good for a carp. It looks really good. Probably put the kiss of death on it now, but yeah, it looks spot on. It looks absolutely spot on. All the casts went on the money, so I'm ultra confident at the moment for another one. Hopefully the weather stays like this and doesn't piss down anymore, because this is lovely. This is just what the doctor ordered. I think I could be in with one. I really do. There's the odd showing over the spot, not going mad, but they're just like head and shoulder in on the spots. More on the far 17 rod spot, 17 wrap spot, should I say. But yeah, it looks good for it, looks really good for it. So I'm going to give it another couple of hours and then top it up with a few more spawns just to ring the dinner bell. Come on, the carp. So I know some of you out there like seeing the rigs that the carp are caught on. A lot of my rigs are not rocket science. 90% of the time I'm probably using Ronnies, which everyone uses, but they're so effective, so I don't generally change them. But for some reason this time I did change, and I'm glad I did. So as I said earlier, I've been using the full powder jackets from Eclipse Baits, the coated hook baits in the pillow shapes. And because it's a bottom bait, I generally don't use Ronnies on bottom baits. You can use them on wafters, but I don't generally use them on bottom baits. They probably still work, and I know people who still use them on the bottom. But this is the actual rig that I used to catch that 28 pounder on. Coated material, stripped back a little bit, little blob of putty there, just on where the stripped back coating meets the uncoated. Meets the coated, should I say. A little bit of a kicker on there, and a little bit of silicone just underneath it. And there's the full powder jacket underneath the size 4 hook. With a little bit of a pop up underneath that just to balance it out, and a flash of colour. And that's what did the do. As I say, really simple to tie, and it worked, and I'm glad I changed to it. this year I haven't been out a lot. I think this is my 4th trip. Back in April though, I had a fantastic trip to Bayswater Day Ticket Lake, Gary Bays' lake in Chelmsford in Essex, with the Eclipse Baits boys and girls. We hired the lake exclusive, and yeah, I had 2 30s, including a £37.9, which is my UK PB, so well happy with that. And then followed that up with a big chunky 33 10 mirror. It's great fishing. I mean, everyone around the lake I think caught fish. There was an awful lot of 30s caught and lots of 20s. Yeah, great little lake. I'd happily go back there again, especially if you've got a lake exclusive. It's not a very big lake, but the stock is fantastic, so yeah, I'll definitely go back there again. And that was in April, and since April I've probably had a couple of trips down here, a couple of overnighters for lots and lots of bream. And that's why I'm so thankful I caught carp on this trip. So, but I hope to get a lot more in for the rest of the summer. We're now at the end of July, so for the rest of the year I hope to be at least a couple of times a month coming out and trying to catch a few more. Good morning. So after dinner last night, I had sausages, really nice. Put about 12 spombs out, but nothing happened overnight. I had a really good night's sleep. Conditions looked spot on, there was a few fish showing, but it just didn't happen. Still got about an hour left, so you never know, do you? But if I don't get anything, thanks for watching, and please subscribe, leave a comment below if you want to ask any questions, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.